President William RUTO elected East African Community Chairperson for a period of 1 year, takes over after President Salva Kiir of South Sudan. Government disburses over 965 million shillings for medical interns stipend in a bid to avert a looming medical strike. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Let's get the show started. You can watch us live across all our streaming platforms tonight. EBN Weekend Edition kicks off right now. University Academic Staff Union, WASU, and 2 other workers' unions have called off the 3-month strike at Moi University after signing a return-to-work deal. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba and Higher Education Principal Secretary Beatrice Inyangala were at the university to witness the signing of the deal. Under this deal, the government will immediately provide 500 million shillings. The Kenya Universities Staff Union and Kenya Union of Domestic Hotels and Education Institutions and Allied Workers Union also signed the deal that will now see more than 900 dons and 2,300 workers resume work at the university.
And with the approval of Moi University Chapter Executive, I want to declare that the strike is over. I want to impress upon dons of this university to report to work on Monday. And let us work on a acceptable program to cover the lost time. And to the management, we have signed an agreement here. Kindly honor the agreement. We don't want what has happened to this university to happen again. I want to thank the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education, and the PS State Department for University Education for having brought us together. And today we have signed a landmark return to work for me.
Any other interferences? Yes. We worked with all the leadership from this area, and each and everyone has their hands on deck to ensure that we are back on track, and Moi University is going to be the shining example that it was meant to be. And not just Moi University, all our universities, including those that are facing challenges, we are determined as a ministry and as a government to ensure that we bring them back to where they were supposed to be. We need the support of both the parents and the students in ensuring that when programs have been put in place or you are required to do that extra mile, please work together to ensure that we meet the obligations that we need to meet. It is unforgivable that students are taking 9 years in a program where they're supposed to take 6 years. That is not a space that we want to be, either now or in future. And we've directed this institution to give us a program to ensure or to tell us how they are going to complete their studies and they are going to graduate as is required.
Health Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Mlongo Baraza has announced that the government has disbursed 965.9 million shillings for payment of monthly stipends and arrears accrued to nursing, clinical officers, medical officers, and pharmacist interns. The statement comes after the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union called for the withdrawal of services by medical interns due to failure by the government to honor promises. However, the union maintains that the strike notice still stands, adding that the amount that the ministry is saying it has disbursed is against their collective bargaining agreement. According to the Secretary General, Dr. Davji Atela, the amount caters for 40,000 shillings net pay, which is in violation of the CBA.
The Ministry of Health is pleased to announce the successful payment of monthly stipends and accrued arrears to nursing officers interns, clinical officer interns, medical officer interns, and pharmacist interns. This marks a significant milestone in our commitment to support healthcare professionals at the foundation of their career while strengthening Kenya's healthcare system. A total of 965,875,345 and 60 cents Kenya shillings has been disbursed to interns in the following cadre: 826 medical officer interns with degrees, 274 pharmacist interns with degrees, 71 dentist interns with degrees, 140 clinical officer interns with degrees, 1,185 nursing officer interns with degrees, and 1,251 clinical officer interns with diplomas. The amount comprises 528,615,125 and 60 cents Kenya shillings in arrears payment and 110,668,070 Kenya shillings in regular payment for nursing and clinical officer.
Now, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka has cast a spot on the Kenya Kwanza government for their delay in implementing the National Dialogue Committee report, NADCO, that was submitted on December 2023. The report, which includes the reconstitution of IBC, is yet to see full implementation, as Musyoka now says the government has abandoned the course of the report. Kalonzo Musyoka has further fingered the government for unsanctioned detentions and unwarranted arrests, which has now become the new normal.
This regime has demonstrated time and again that they are not interested in justice or in the interests of Kenyans. Since the tabling of the report in Parliament almost a year ago, on December 7th, 2023, the NADCO agreement has not been implemented. The few concessions on the cost of living have not even been honored. The matters relating to electoral justice have not been implemented, including evaluation of the 2022 election outcomes. The constitutional and legal reforms to ensure credible elections are still pending. Aggression against Jubilee, because we also had that as a very important agenda item. That's not contained in my statement here. But that was a very important agenda, integrity and commitment to multi-party democracy. And by that we meant that this state-sponsored aggression on Jubilee Party had also to stop. We now know there's even, again, state-sponsored appeal to the higher courts. The Kenya Kwanza regime is clawing back and putting the country on a dangerous trajectory. They are determined to violate the NADCO agreement and the proposed constitutional and legal instruments agreed. Of particular concern are the constitutional timelines for boundary delimitation and the reconstitution of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC. The regime is already breaching the Constitution by failing to meet constitutional deadlines for boundary delimitation. We are already facing, ladies and gentlemen, a constitutional crisis.
Now, Health Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Mulongo Baraza led a mass registration drive for the Social Health Authority in Garsen, Tana River County, as the ministry aims to push the numbers past a total of 8 million Kenyans. The Cabinet Secretary confirmed to the country that public hospitals have received a total of 1.7 billion shillings accrued under SHA. The CS has urged Kenyans to keep on registering under SHA so as to access medical care under the primary health care, the Social Health Insurance Fund, and the Critical and Chronic Illnesses Fund.
What we are asking all Kenyans, let us work together to protect ourselves, to protect our families. That way, through our financial capacity, we can avoid financial constraints because of excess financial catastrophe when we get health-related conditions. So our key message is that all Kenyans need to register and need to contribute based on their financial capacity. Equally, we are saying healthcare providers, let us contract, let us give health services under Social Health Authority. We are telling health workers, let us give quality services of international standards. And we are telling our political elite, please be our advocates, be our champions when it comes to SHA rollout in your counties and your constituencies. We are also talking to the development and implementing partners. What we are requesting is support so that we ensure that we get this into fruition. And again, for the various ministries and agencies, we need a whole government approach so that we can have SHA implementation across the country. And as you can see, this is the end of the month. People are already receiving the social health insurance funds, the payment that occurred in October. 1.7 billion has been released, and public facilities and those contracted private facilities are already receiving payment. NHIF bills again have been paid, and again the capitation for the primary healthcare fund is also ongoing. So we are saying private facilities, please go ahead and contract.
Na ukishajiandikisha kina mama, mkienda hospitali kujifungua ni bure. Hospitali ya kiserikali, hospitali ya kibinafsi, hospitali ya kidini. Kujifungua ni nini? Ni bure. Na wale wenye magonjwa sugu, magonjwa ya figo, magonjwa ya saratani, mambo mengine, magonjwa ya moyo, iwapo umejiandikisha kwa SHA, ukienda hospitali unafanya nini? Unatibiwa bure. Ukienda Hola, matibabu ni bure. Ukienda Malindi, matibabu ni bure. Ukienda Mombasa, matibabu ni bure. Hospitali yoyote, bora umefanya nini? Umejiandikisha. Tuko pamoja?
President William RUTO is the new East African Community Chairperson. He succeeds South Sudan President Salva Kiir, whose one-year term has come to a close. President RUTO has described his predecessor's leadership in the bloc as exemplary and visionary. He takes over the regional mantle at a time when the 8-member economic bloc is pursuing political confederation. At the 24th Ordinary Summit of the East African Community Heads of State high-level side event in Arusha, Kenya committed to continue playing the lead role in the economic coalition.
The expansion of our community to include South Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Federal Republic of Somalia reflects the growing appeal of the EAC as a model of integration. While this expansion brings opportunities, it also calls for deliberate strategies to ensure the seamless inclusion of new members into our systems. By unlocking the immense potential of our expanded market, we can truly transform the economic landscape of our region, and I commend the recognition of Kiswahili and French alongside English as official languages of EAC. Kiswahili, as a unifying African language, embodies our shared cultural heritage, while French reflects the diversity of our community. This inclusivity strengthens our identity, promotes cohesion, and enhances our capacity to engage effectively, locally, regionally, and in the global stage. Your Excellencies, trade remains a vital engine for economic growth and regional integration. Kenya appreciates the continued support of EAC heads of state in navigating complex trade matters. One such matter is our economic partnership agreement with the European Union, which was necessitated by our transition from least developed countries status.
National Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has asked Kenyans to exercise patience as the government works on tax reforms aimed at fixing the economy. Speaking at an event to support needy students in Suba South Sub-County, Mbadi assured Kenyans that within a year, government will implement positive changes to the tax laws. Mbadi also urged Kenyans to refrain from criticizing the president and instead support the government in addressing economic challenges.
The problem now is with the middle class. Because of taxation, because of other issues, The middle class feel they don't have money in their pocket. That is the work that Mbadi is now given the responsibility and task to make sure that we improve the pay slip and make it better. And you give me 1 year, I will make sure that there are some changes that we are going to make in our tax laws, positive and progressive ones, to make sure that there is more money in the pockets of Kenyans, because that is now the cry. It is not something to condemn the president about. It is something to look for solutions for. If we can't pay our suppliers and contractors, we must look for ways of paying them so that there is money in the economy. There is liquidity in the economy. That is the assignment I have been given, and I will execute it and discharge it with good heart.
Kenya's candidate in the African Union Commission chairmanship, Raila Odinga, has received a huge boost in his bid after securing the endorsement of former Seychelles Vice President Vincent Meriton, who quit the race. Meriton, who had initially expressed interest in the seat, explained that he quit the race owing to health reasons, sharing that he could not have handled the pressure that came with the job and the preceding campaigns. Now, Meriton noted that Odinga brings on board the much-needed enthusiasm and experience to steer the commission and lead the continent in taking its rightful place among the international community. Meriton, who had expressed interest in the position, did not have his candidacy submitted by his country before the August 6th deadline, with the race narrowing down further to just 4 candidates.
I withdrew my candidacy from the African Union chairpersonship race. I would not have been able to withstand the pressure that goes with the position. Today, I want to lend my support to His Excellency Raila Odinga as he travels far and wide along the continent to spread his message of Pan-Africanism, of peace, security, prosperity for all the continent and its citizens. As Africa positions itself to play a more assertive role on the international scene, we need a new leadership at the African Union Commission. The race is not about rivalry among the candidates, but seeing who is the best son that can lead our continent as we move ahead. I admire the drive, the passion, the enthusiasm that His Excellency has. His long years of experience is what our continent needs as we move ahead, as we take our rightful place along the communities on the international scene. With His Excellency Raila Odinga and all the member states and all the regional economic communities, we cannot but succeed.
Prince Meriton has been a politician in Seychelles for a long time, and he's told me that he wanted to run for the chairmanship of the African Union, but opted not to submit his application because of his respect for me. He has volunteered to help in the campaign for the chairmanship. I want to take the opportunity to thank him for his sense of patriotism and of sacrifice to support my campaign.
Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni played host to Senate Speaker Amason Kingi, accompanied by other senators including Karen Nyamu, Eddie Oketch and Ledama Olekina. President Yoweri Museveni encouraged the young Kenyans to push for economic and political integration in Africa, and especially within East Africa. Uganda's president called for more youths to be engaged in political affairs as they are the future of the nations.
The brotherhood, the sisterhood, it's amazing. So allow me to say thank you so much for giving us that kind of, hospitality.
As I was saying in my speech, you young people, you must push the program of integration, kwa sababu mtakuja kuhatarisha Africa. If Africa does not integrate politically and economically, the future may not be good. So these borders really disable our capacity to kusaidiana. You can't do it because it is another country. And this is the problem Mwalimu had when he was supporting us against Idi Amin. But you young people, you should really push for the integration of Africa. The politics you are engaged in now, football. Somebody asked me, which club do you support? Can you imagine that which European club do I support? I said, what are those? I said, they are clubs. What are they? There is something called Arsenal. Another one called what? Please. I was a footballer myself, but I stopped playing in 1966. So if I couldn't play football myself, how can I watch the football of other people? So watu wetu wanakuwa kwenye mambo hayo. They don't look at their own future.
The Senate ICT Committee has criticized junior officers from the Office of the Controller of Budget for delaying the execution of crucial county projects. Speaking in Bungoma County during an assessment tour of the county's process of digitizing revenue collection systems, the committee led by the chair, Senator Alan Chesang, accused these officers of stalling development by failing to sign off on budgeted resources. Chesang assured counties that the Senate is addressing the issue, revealing that a bill to facilitate the release of funds to counties was passed on Thursday. He promised decisive action against officers who are derailing progress.
Wengi tumesikia shida ambayo county government zinapitia, na sisi kama kamati tumesema tunarudi kule Senate kuhakikisha ya kwamba ofisi ya Control of Budget iweze kuangaliwa, kwa sababu tumepata challenge kubwa ni ya kwamba maofisa wa Control of Budget wale wa kwenye county ndio ambao wanaweza kuchelewesha hizi payments ama hizi payments zile zinafaa kuwa na requisitions ambayo zinafaa kuja wa county government. So tumepata hiyo ripoti, na mimi nahakikishia county ya Bungoma, county ya Uasin Gishu, county ya Elgeyo Marakwet, zile ambayo tumekuwa na county zote 47 ya kwamba sisi kama kamati ya Senate tutahakikisha ya kwamba ile shida ambayo iko katika ofisi ya Control of Budget itaweza tunaenda kusukuma, itaweza kutatuliwa ili county ziweze kupata pesa zao kwa wakati nzuri, waweze kutumia pesa kwa wakati ambayo inaofaa.
Control of Budget hajatia sahihi stakabadhi za Bungoma kuhakikisha matumizi ya pesa ya Bungoma inatekelezwa. Na mimi kama senator nimesema, jana tumepitisha bunge mswada wa kuruhusu pesa zije katika magatuzi, na hatutakubali wale ambao wametumwa na serikali kuwa vizingiti kwa kaunti zetu kulipa wanakandarasi, kulipa mishahara na kufanya maendeleo katika kaunti zetu za Kenya. Sasa shida za Bungoma tumezipata, wenzangu wameungana na mimi. Wiki lijalo tutakamata yule ambaye amekuwa kizingiti katika utekelezwaji wa mamlaka na
Finland's ambassador to Kenya, Suomi Ulkomaila, has called for heightened action, particularly against femicide, as the country marks 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Speaking at the graduation of 561 gender-based violence counselors under the Kenya-Finland bilateral program, the ambassador highlighted a concerning surge in femicide. According to the Kenya National Police Service, 97 cases of femicide have been reported in just 3 months. The Finland government has pledged continuous support in tackling GBV in Kenya.
It breaks my heart to hear that here in Kilifi, just in the last month, 5 women have died as a result of femicide. 2 of them are yet to be buried. While we mark their memories, we need to be strong in making a commitment to end femicide in Kenya. The figures here as well are very worrying. There has been a surge in femicides as of late. There were 97 cases reported only in the last 3 months, according to the Kenyan Police Force. The femicide cases illustrate the need to take the work to MGBV to a completely different level. And we support the government of Kenya in this campaign, and we urge the government of Kenya to put resources into this campaign.
Gender-based violence kutokea mara nyingi hata kwa watu ambao wanajuana. Ni ile tu mambo ya communication breakdown ama kutoelewana kuhusu kitu kidogo na unapata imeleta madhara ambapo watu wanauana. Kwa hivyo tunataka tukue na more counselors kwa mashinani ili shida ikija ya jamii waweze kusuluhisha, wapate mawaidha, wazungumziwe, wamalize mambo kuliko vile mara nyingi wale ambao wanapatwa na hili janga wakiulizwa wanasema unapata ni communication breakdown ama watu kujifinyilia kutoongea, mtu anakuwa na shida na anakosa kuzungumza. So kama State Department for Gender tunaweka mikakati kuhakikisha kama wale ambao tumepata wale ambao wamegraduate tuseme kama leo wanakuwa kama.
Women from different parts of Embu County have come out strongly in defense of Governor Cecily Mbarire, who has come under fire from a section of leaders and locals of allegations of non-performance. They stated that Governor Mbarire is being targeted not due to poor service delivery, but simply because she's a woman. The women have dismissed these claims as baseless, asserting that she has proven herself fit for the job through numerous development programs she has initiated since taking office.
Tunaona kila wakati gavana hata akifanya jambo juri anaambiwa afanye kazi, anatusiwa tu matusi hata ili hatuwezi ongea kwa mitandao. Tunaambia watu wa mitandao wakome hiyo mambo ya kila wakati wanaandikia gavana mitandao kumwambia ili vile hajafanya kazi, na sisi wa mama tunaona gavana wetu amefanya kazi. Ile kazi amefanya hata ni nzuri kuliko ile imefanywa last time. So we are very annoyed sababu hatuoni sababu ya kiongozi amesaguliwa na wamama na akasaguliwa na watu wengine kusimama kuongea mambo ya gavana afanye kazi.
Langu ni kwanza kusikitika tu kwa sababu wakati tulikuwa tunafanya campaign tulifanyia campaign hawa viongozi wakiwa kama timu moja. Governor wetu, MP wetu na hao viongozi wengine wote. Lakini sasa kwa sababu ya governor vile amejitolelea na ile kazi amefanya, kazi ambayo tunaiona, tunaienzi sisi wenyewe, ndio wengine wanaanza kumpiga kwa sababu ya kumdharau kwa kuwa yeye ni gender, kwa sababu yeye ni mwanamke.
Ningeomba serikali yetu, watu wa Embu, tusiwe na magombano ili tujenge inji, tujenge mboma na hata watoto wapate kufanya kazi. Juu mahali pako na vita hata watoto hawasomi. Tafadhali ningeomba, ningewasihi kwa neno la Mungu, tafadhali tusome yale mazuri kutoka kaunti zingine, tukuje tutende hiyo hapa kwetu Embu.
Ningependa watu wanjue ya kwamba gavana anafanya mambo. Ni wachimbe wanjue vizuri. Waache kuwa anakuja wanaambiwa sijui hajafanya, sijui yako na kalinda, sijui nini. Kwani mtu akiwa na kalinda hawezi fanya kazi? So let us tushikilie gavana wetu so that aendelee kufanyia kazi yetu na so that tusiregret tukua watu wa Embu.
Many motorists in Nairobi were last night finding it hard to navigate their way home as heavy flooding had rendered many roads impassable following heavy rains. Images and videos shared online showed some vehicles stuck and almost submerged in flood waters. Several other comments from Kenyans in different locations of the city painted a sorry state of affairs, with many blaming the poor drainage system. Sports. Talanta FC and Posta Rangers recorded a 0-0 draw at the Kenyatta Stadium in Machakos, leaving them still battling at the bottom half of the table, 15th and 16th respectively. Talanta FC came close to goal at the 23rd minute after a power shot from range by December Kisekar, but it was not enough to worry goalkeeper Bixente Otieno. Shami Mwinyi Kibwana's 48th minute effort just trickled wide in a game that saw many chances but no turnovers.
Ya kuwafungua na kuwafunga Posta Rangers. Pembeni tena Peter Njama Mungai analeta ndani Enoch Momanyi Machaka, anakataa Ivan Ochieng. December Duse Kisaka mekataa, piga mkubwa kule juu, wamepata nafasi nzuri. Shami Mwinyi Kibwana amejitengea mwenyewe. Shami Mwinyi Kibwana analeta unatoka, imenaswa tena Ivan Ochieng. Uzuri leo Shivachi, chini kwa chini Shivachi amekosa Robert Ayala. Uzuri tena leo Shivachi, anao nafasi. Shivachi anakataa kwa mara ya tatu. Ayala, Bernardo Tiano, Jerry Kambunjo.
All right, and that sports news does it for us tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you are up to date with what is making headlines across the country. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Oh, and by the way, tomorrow is December. So, wow, that was fast. The year really does go by very fast. So, hope you have your new month off to a fantastic start as we prepare to usher in the festivities in just a few weeks. So, good night. Take care of yourselves. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. See you Monday, God willing.